The Rio Paralympics wrapped up today. Big old closing ceremony in Rio. New Zealand had a successful Paralympics campaign, taking home 21 medals, 9 gold, 5 silver, 7 bronze. Here to talk to us about it is our sports reporter, Matt Chatterton. Matt, I have a sense these Paralympics were fantastic.
Yeah, considering the sort of controversy that was going into them regarding Russia being completely banned from the Games, and also the rules around sponsorship as well, because it was discovered before the Games that they were seriously underfunded and had to boost sponsorship in a way to actually fund the Games, really. So they got there in the end, and they were quite successful. For New Zealand, they were very successful in terms of medals, but today was all about celebrating what, an amazing month it has been in Rio in terms of the Olympics and the Paralympics, and they wrapped it up, of course, in true traditional style in Brazil with the samba and a lot of music as well. We actually do have a clip, courtesy of TVNZ, of the closing ceremony. Pretty much sounds like a party, but here it is.
And when the Paralympians get home, we'll be talking to some of them later in the week.
Yes, we will be.
All Blacks, injuries, what do you know, Matt?
Yeah, so we've got a quick update there. So Jerome Kano has been ruled out of the next test against Argentina, not this weekend, but next weekend. He sustained a shoulder injury in the game against South Africa that the All Blacks won in Christchurch on the weekend. Sam Cane and Aaron Cruden have been ruled out completely for the rest of the Rugby Championship, but it's not too much of a concern because we do have that wrapped up. We've got an unassailable lead in the tournament.
Having said that, we go on the road now, right?
We do. We have one game in Argentina and one game in South Africa, and that is it for the Rugby Championship. Just also Waisaki Nahola and George Mawala are back from injury, and Matt Todd and Damien McKenzie will be heading over as injury cover for Sam Cane and Aaron Cruden.
Gosh, there's depth in New Zealand rugby, isn't there?
There sure is.
Depth of cheek too, isn't there? Graham Henry, Sir Graham Henry, winding up the Wallabies coach. What was he saying? The worst Wallabies side he can recall seeing?
Yeah, so he's come out in the last week and said that, he has never seen a worse Wallabies team than the one that is currently playing international rugby. Michael Cheika, who obviously has a bit of a past with sort of going toe-to-toe, shall we say, in the media with All Blacks coaches. Him and Steve Hansen have a bit of a history there. Wasn't afraid to back down.
Well, he won Coach of the Year last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, Hansen's never said he's aggrieved, but he has every right to be.
Yeah, but I don't think Hansen's probably necessarily too aggrieved about it, to be honest, considering he has a World Cup trophy sitting in the cabinet compared to Cheika, who doesn't. But there's also obviously, this little showdown with Graham Henry, and Michael Cheika's response is he can say what he wants, I don't really care. So, yeah, it's obviously just loves the banter.
The Aussies need to start winning, and by golly they did. And I thought actually they gave Quade Cooper his head on Saturday night, and he looked really, really good. He was a playmaker against Argentina.
He did, but he also caused a bit of a stir with a bit of a punch-up during the game, and so there have been a few questions around if he's really, suited to those big moments, because he can get a bit carried away at times. But you did right, he did produce some of that stuff that we remember Quade Cooper for back before, I guess, the 2011 World Cup, when we all thought he was going to be a massive threat. Yeah.
Fascinating business, international rugby at the moment. Thank you, Matt Chatterton, as always.